So guys, the Tinubu's government has continued with the Boko Haram repentance program despite the outcry coming from Nigerians. Like you can see from this headline here, it says 117 repentant terrorists complete rehabilitation program. Nigerians have been wondering why Tinubu is not listening to the reactions coming from Nigerians, because you cannot be sparing the terrorists who are killing your people, giving them taxpayers' money. Now, in case you don't know, in the last 1 week ago, Boko Haram members are said to have attacked 2 different military camps of the Nigerian military. They ended up killing 4 soldiers in one of those attacks. They destroyed vehicles and trucks and they captured weapons and all that. But here is the Tinubu's government granting the same terrorists, amnesty. Now, look at how this person has reacted to this. It says, to whom it may concern, just in case you are not aware, please read. The Nigerian government has just released 117 repentant Boko Haram terrorists back into the society. No jail, no punishment, no prosecution, just a scam program. And this 117 wild animals are released back into the society to kill, kidnap, and murder Nigerians. Boko Haram terrorists and the APC are 2 sides of the same coin, working hand in hand. The animals in government and the animals in the bush are one and the same. This is the legacy of the APC, the Al-Qaeda's People Congress. So guys, it is really hard breaking to see that Tinubu, a southern president, is the one granting pardon to Boko Haram members, while Boko Haram members are busy killing the Nigerian military. We have many Nigerians in the IDP camps. Tinubu has not even made out time to visit any of the IDP camps in Nigeria, but they've been releasing numerous Boko Haram members back into the society. And when you look at it generally, you see that it has not helped Nigeria in fighting insecurity, because we've even had more attacks in the recent times. So guys, we don't know who is advising Tinubu on this repentant Boko Haram program. Now, let me take you through more insecurity related headlines. Like this one here says, Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists have intercepted and set ablaze 3 trucks loaded with fish at Mile 40 area in Magumeri, local government of Borno State. According to some truck drivers, the attack happened around 1 p.m. on Thursday. That is in the broad daylight, 1 p.m. in the afternoon. They attack people's businesses, burnt everything ablaze. So guys, and the Tinubu's government is releasing them back into the society. Now, this headline here says, bandits kill over 30 in fresh attack in Zamfara community. This one is a breaking news, just happened not quite long now. And then this one here is saying that terrorists write Kebbi community demand 100 million naira. They will write you and tell you, if you don't provide the money, we are coming for you. So guys, this is what Nigerians are saying under Tinubu's leadership. We don't know the ground on which Tinubu is granting Boko Haram members amnesty. They don't face the law. They don't face any punishment. But if you are an ordinary Nigerian and you just wear a military camouflage, they will come on you. They will arrest you. They will deal with you. But terrorists and bandits wear the same uniform. They are being begged to drop their arms. They are being given amnesty, repentance program, giving taxpayers money to go home and reunite with the society. So guys, this strategy has not helped anywhere, and it's not even helping Nigerians. Like you can see, in the recent times, there have been more attacks in Nigeria than it has ever been. So guys, I'm just going to allow you to take a look at these videos that I've got for you. Let me know what you think about the policy of Tinubu. Tinubu is doing all this just to appease the North for election, because ahead of the election, because it's just a strategy. They call it carrot and stick. So this is the carrot side of it. Give them amnesty, and it has not helped. This is a strategy being pushed by the new Ribadu's office, the NSA's office, and Tinubu is taking it. He is going by it, which is not helping Nigerians. We have many Nigerians in the IDP camps displaced by terrorists. Tinubu has not made out time to visit any of the IDP camps. The IDP people don't know when they are going back to their communities, but the terrorists who killed their fathers and their mothers and made them orphans are now the ones getting pardon, receiving taxpayers' money, being sent back into the society that they destroyed. So guys, I don't know what you make of what is happening in the Tinubu's government. They say Tinubu is the master strategist. Is this one of the strategies that Tinubu is known for? So guys, let me show you how Nigerians have reacted after Tinubu released fresh 117 terrorist members back into the society. Don't forget that recently in Kwara State, terrorists executed close to 200 persons in Kwara State, and today news is out there saying the Tinubu's government has released another 117 terrorists back into the society in the name of repentant Boko Haram members. Now, see how Nigerians have reacted. This person says, it's official. Nigeria has no commander-in-chief. Terrorists are now in charge of the sovereignty of this country of particular concern. And this other person here say, every election season, security becomes a campaign promise. After election, Nigerians become statistics. Zamfara today, another state tomorrow. A country where citizens die repeatedly without consequences for leadership. Consequences for leadership is a country normalizing tragedy. And this other person here said, after the Fulani terrorists murdered 50 Christians in Nigeria, the corrupt Tinubu's government, Yoruba president, continues releasing terrorists in the name of repentance. Someone should wake up Oni of Ife, a hypocrisy. And this other person here say, what's the sense behind this repentance program? These people kill, maim, kidnap, and conduct mass murder of Nigerians. And our government is so daft to think they are now new people. There's nothing to data intending terrorists, since they can always claim repentance and get a free ride. This is so sad. Another person here say, APC is the founder of Boko Haram. They use it to chase good luck out of power. All these terrorists work for the party, and they are doing their agreement by releasing them whenever they are caught. And this other person here said, this is understandably frustrating. Releasing 117 terrorists without prosecution raises serious concern about justice and public safety. It's important to question such decision, because also to separate verified fact from political accusation. If true, Nigeria deserves full transparency from their government on how this program works and what safeguards are in place. How this program works, how this repentance program for Boko Haram, how does it work? Now, this person finally said, yet nnamdi Kanu was jailed for nothing. Igbos are too quiet in this country. Gumi has done more harm to this nation than Kanu, yet he is moving freely. That's because the government knows if they touch him, they will make this regime unbearable and ungovernable. We can't be civil to win against those that are barbaric. So guys, these are some reactions coming from Nigerians after the Tinubu's government released another fresh batch of the so-called repentant Boko Haram members back into the society. With all the execution and the mass killings that have been happening recently, Tinubu keeps, pardoning Boko Haram members, while we have many Nigerians living in IDP camps, people who have been displaced by Boko Haram and Fulani terrorists and ISWAT. They are all in the IDP camps, while these people are getting free ride from the government. It's either they are getting negotiation, an amnesty program, or repentance program. They are being given taxpayers' money. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification for more. Now take a look.
I mean, I can't come on the air and start mentioning names of people that are presently in government now that I know. Presently in government. That the boys that we arrested mentioned, some of them are governors now. Some of them are in the Senate. Some of them are in Aso Rock. Why should a government try to cause this kind of embarrassment and insecurity to the sense of what happened yesterday? And the solution I gave them in 2017, because when I identified the center of gravity for General Shocking, and they couldn't pursue it, because some of them were ministers. And what I'm saying now, the Department of State Services are listening to me. They know them.
Yeah,
Commodore. So the solution I gave them was that if we can't pursue the policy strategic level, because the people that we need to talk to are also, going to be difficult to deal with. I said what they should do now is to conduct two things. We should buy blames. The blames are not UAVs. They are not drones. Blames are equipment that can fly up to 10,000 feet, 30,000 feet, static if you want, mobile if you want, and they carry a lot of payload. We saw them in Afghanistan. We saw them in Kenya. This will be something that can give us real-time intelligence, and we can know where these bandits or terrorists, where they emanate from, when they finish operations that they've done, where they go back to.
Okay. Well,
they did not buy this equipment up to. No.
Okay, you said quite a number of things. Let's pick up on some of them and see if we could make some, if you could shed some further light on some of them. since 2012, I mean, you've been in operation, as you said, ever since that time. You questioned several people. Some people were identified at that time. Did the government at that time try any of them? Or were any of them also in government at the time?
No, the government did not try any of them, and the defense headquarters where I worked then did not pursue that line of operation because it's beyond them. The defense headquarters, actually, when you look at the defense structure of Nigeria, they lie within the policy strategic level, but basically they are operational guys. So when you have policy problem, then they cannot go beyond their masters. They can write intelligence report and say this is what is going on. And we've seen that the present government know what is going on.
I'm sorry, is this a policy problem? I mean, the laws are clear. If someone is said to be involved in something as devious as this, the laws are clear. This person is meant to be arrested, questioned. I mean, it's quite clear. So is it a policy problem? We have the laws. So what is stopping the security agencies from actually enforcing the law, since that's what they are?
I think what is stopping them is like when you are a member of a church and your pastor have decided to be at a certain level of spiritualism and you're a member of that church, you cannot be higher than your pastor spiritually. You can't, no matter what you do.
So this is the same religion you spoke about?
Yes. In real life, you see that the defense headquarters cannot conduct any operations that is not sanctioned by the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Yeah. They cannot.
No matter how small, little
they cannot. So when the Yar'Adua government decided to put an end to Niger Delta militancy, that was in 2007. What he did was simple. He called all the security chiefs and all the intelligence chiefs and tasked them to come up with a solution. The Defense Intelligence Agency, the National Intelligence Agency, the Department of State Services were called with the Inspector General of Police and the Interpol to come up with the solution to the problem. Then the problem was Niger Delta. The president was Yar'Adua. He was dispassionate. He wanted to solve the problem. Within 6 months, we solved the problem. I remember I have to go to Angola to go and bring Herioka, and nobody in Nigeria knew what we did. All we know is that since 27, 28 that we conducted our operation under Yar'Adua, Niger Delta issue has remained manageable. This government does not want to resolve this problem. They are escalating it because of tribal and religious sentiments.
So when you say this government does not want to resolve it, don't forget the same government has purchased. In fact, they're going to induct the Kanu jet because of, I mean, the insecurity situation. They have, the president has had to change guards, as it were, as a result of people's clamor. I imagine if that was not in the thinking, why would you go that length to make some of the, you know, some of the pronouncements, the meetings that have happened, the purchase, the change of guard and the rest? Why would they do all that if they don't want to sort this?
Because that is not the solution. What you just mentioned is not the solution. When you have a problem at policy level, strategic level, operational level, when you have a problem, what you need to do is to identify the center of gravity of that problem and attack it. That's what you do. What they are doing is not attacking the center of gravity of the problem of Boko Haram and insurgency. So if the president is buying Super Tucano, is changing service chiefs, that is not the solution. We are looking at the wrong side. It's not kinetic. It's politics.
Are you ruling out kinetic altogether?
I can't rule out kinetic because
so it's
a spectrum. It's a spectrum, you know, so you can't rule out something. But the center of gravity is what they should look at. And what is it? I'm saying it on this channel. It is the sponsor of Boko Haram and bandits.
And speaking about the sponsors, you know, when you say the DSS, and yeah, they could be listening to you, but so they profile, part of their responsibility is to profile all of these persons before they either vie for elections or before, excuse me, they are nominated for any of these positions. Doesn't that happen? Don't they get intel and say, look, this and this is what we found, and then we don't think that this should proceed further? Doesn't that happen?
It does. You know, when I worked with the DSS in 2007, because when Yar'Adua approved the operational order that we did, we now have to work together as a team. He actually forced all of us to sit down together and work together. I was surprised at the tremendous amount of information had by DSS. I was shocked. We in DI, I was in Defense Intelligence Agency, and when they were forced to bring out the files, I was shocked. They have so much information at DSS presently as I'm talking about what I'm talking about. They have. But you see, if a fish is going to get spoiled, it's going to start getting spoiled from the head. The DSS will not do anything except the Commander-in-Chief's body language shows that this is the direction I want to go. That is where the problem is. The DSS has tremendous information. By the time 2023 is here and somebody take over and wants to undo some of this evil that I've seen in this country, you'll be surprised names that the DSS will bring out. They have the information. There's nothing I'm going to say here that they don't have. The defense headquarters have the solution for the kinetic aspect. They do. I'm not going to come here to advise them. I work with them and they're still there. The Chief of Naval Staff was in the intelligence with me. We were together in Defense Intelligence Agency. That's Vice Admiral Gambo. I know these people are good. They know what to do. It's not that they have problems. It has to do with politics, the sponsors, people that feel that this country should be Islamized.
You know, assuming but not conceding that, that all of this is the case. So what is the end game? Because I imagine as a strategist, that's what you think about too. So these things are happening. What is the end game? So why will this be allowed to fester? For what purpose?
The end game for them, because we did, normally when you want to look at this type of challenges, what you do is that you go through what we call the intelligence circle. Okay? When you do the processing and you do the analysis before dissemination point, you discover that the end game for them is to just turn this country into like a Taliban type of country. And it's a mindset. And anything goes. In other words, 10% casualties, 20% casualties is allowed in trying to achieve the end game of Islamizing this country.
That's for the terrorists, the bandits.
It's not for the terrorists and the bandits, for the sponsors. Because I told you, and I will repeat on this channel, the sponsors of Boko Haram and the bandits are the problems. And defense headquarters, the army headquarters, the naval headquarters, the air force cannot do anything about that. Buhari has to do something about that. The Interpol has the list of those people that are sponsoring Boko Haram. I work with Interpol. They should ask. If they don't know, they should ask. The government of Dubai, they have the list of those people. During the trial of those people that were caught, names were mentioned. They have the list. The government also told us that they've arrested 400 sponsors of Boko Haram. Why should a government not try those people and bring peace and harmony and safety to this nation? Why won't a government do that? Those people that are going to harass cadets and officers in NDA, they live around the place. I know NDA very well. I was in Georgia, I was in NDA as young officers, and I know the area very well. They live around the place. So why can't you put up a blimp that can see what they are doing in real time and eliminate them? Why won't you do that?
In fact, there were more details saying that some persons slept up, but we'll come to that hopefully. Markwe has got some questions for you. Markwe, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Chamberlain. Much as we're looking at it looks like we're looking at the remote causes. The immediate causes, I think, is what is worrying a lot of people in terms of the significance of the attack. For some people, they're wondering, what do you think were the bandits trying to pass home a message when they chose the National Defense Academy as the area of the attack? I mean, as the area they decided to attack? Because normally people know that military installations, for instance, if you were to, I mean, you've talked about how the military institutions are usually open to the public on Fridays. There'll be questions as to this attack did not happen on a Friday, it happened on a Tuesday. So the guards were supposed to have been up. So there'll be questions as to what happened, how was the perimeter breached, what about the guards that are usually mounted on, watchtowers, what were they doing? Were they asleep? There'll be areas where there are CCTV cameras. What happened in those areas as well? There are huge questions around that. And then the significance, what gave these bandits the audacity, the temerity to be able to say, this is going to be the area we want to attack today? Do you have any questions roaming in your head in terms of, what were they trying to really achieve beyond? Because some people say this is not about ransom. Maybe they want to take a ransom, yes, maybe. But it looks like they were trying to send home a message.
Yeah, thank you, Makwe. You just got it right. They just want to send a message. And this is what terrorists do. And what the Buhari government should do is to tag these people as terrorists. What they want to do is to send a message, to create fear, and to show the military that we can come for you, and there's nothing you can do. You may not know, I don't know whether it's out in the news, that the major has been killed. Belongs to some groups, and I know about 3 hours ago, his body was found. He has been killed. So, it's not about ransom. I just want to confirm to Makwe that she is right. It's not about ransom. They just want to pass a message. We can come in. We can do what we need to do. And there are some hardliners in this government that are sponsoring this kind of narratives. They just want to show that they can Islamize this country. They think about Taliban. They think about the Mujahideens. And they want to replicate it in this country. And they don't care what happened. They simply don't care. As long as at the end of the day, there's Sharia and there is whatever thing they have in their head they want to achieve. So these people that are sending messages are sponsored by Nigerians. I'm sorry if I could follow up on that quickly. Please go ahead.
This part of what you just spoke about now, the security agencies gleaned this from those who they arrested over time, saying this is the intention.
Absolutely. The intention of it's on the internet. So it's not even about the people we interrogated. The intention is to Islamize Nigeria and practice Sharia. And it doesn't matter if some people die. It doesn't matter if you're embarrassed. It doesn't matter if our economy has degenerated. Look at the interest rate. Look at the inflation rate. Look at the debt profile of Nigeria. They don't care. As long as at the end, the Quran is at the sea. So some people in this country have this mindset. And we must tell the truth. If you tell the truth, you die. If you don't tell it, you die. Some people have this mindset to Islamize the nation. And they are in the government. And people know them. The DSS know them. The NIA know them. The DIA knows them. Because it is the DIA that conducted the operations, that arrested these sponsors. So they know them. Why is the government, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces?
The general area of Afaka, where where the NDA is cited, is no stranger to this sort of attacks. Before now, I mean, a few other institutions around the Defense Academy have also been attacked. Talking about the Institute of Agriculture and Forestry, Mechanized Division, something to that effect. I can't remember the exact name of the institution now, but we do know that they have been around this area. Now, I'm looking at the front page of Daily Trust newspapers, and they have this, why NDA security was compromised. And the first writer says, bandits leave peacefully. Peacefully is in parenthesis, near academy. There have been questions before now that sometimes, you know, this happened in Jos, around Rukuba, that, oh, there were attacks happening in the neighboring area, and that the military institutions did nothing. The same thing happened when there were attacks on the airport, the airport's residential area in Kaduna. Oh, that was very close to the Defense Academy. They did nothing. Oh, they attacked the forestry school in Kaduna. They did nothing. Now they have finally come for them. But the talk is that these people have been there all along. They never went anywhere. The bandits who perpetrated this attack have been there all along. Does the military really need, I mean, if this is something that is of concern to the security agencies, because it was only a matter of time from what it would seem that we're reading that these attacks were going to happen, it didn't really need to wait this long before they took action against people they knew were a security threat to not just them, but also the people around their environment.
Yeah, Makwe, I may also shock you that some cadets have been abducted before now. And when they took these cadets away, and they demanded for ransom, as low as 400,000 naira at that time, the cadets were released after the ransom were paid. And the cadet told them that where they took them to, that they could hear the parade going on in NDA, that they were not taken far away from NDA, that every morning they hear the parade and the programs going on in NDA while they were in the camp of the terrorists. You are right. These people live around NDA. It's about social-cultural issue. As long as you are a Muslim and you speak Fufude or Hausa, you can do whatever you like and fraternize with the military and go in and out of the barracks. You are saying that the attack did not happen on Friday. Of course, it will not happen on Friday, but they have enough time to carry out surveillance. They have enough time to have insiders that will work with them. The problem is that journalists should go around our military institution this Friday and carry their cameras and see the decadence, the security breach that goes on every Friday in all military institutions across Nigeria, and tell the Minister of Defense to put a stop to that. The defense institutions, they are sacred. They are not where people can come on Friday, throw open the gate because they want to come and do Jumat. The truth is that on Sundays, we don't have such, invasion of our premises by Christians to come and pray or to come and do whatever on Sundays. But for the 35 years I spent in the military intelligence, if you go to Tego Barracks in Apapa, it's the same. The Tego Barracks is where I was trained as an intelligence officer. It's the same. On Friday, they will troop in. They throw it open. It's religion. And because we must think about solution, the Minister of Defense should stop this. They should make pronouncement and stop it. Every Friday, people should go to various mosques around them to pray and maintain the sanctity of our military institutions. That's what I
wanted to know if this has been an issue before now. I mean, has this been anything that, the people at the top in the military have found as a source of concern? Let me raise an instance. For instance, we know that at almost every security institution, even on the roads here in Abuja, before you can enter the same road that leads to any military institution is divided in two. There are huge barricades to prevent anybody from just entering, so to speak. This became a source of concern for the military in terms, especially after the attacks on the police headquarters. Has this been a source of concern for the top brass of the military to say, hey, look, if we're taking the steps to put barricades, then this is also going to be a source of concern for us. What can we do about it? Have they elevated this discussion?
At defense headquarters, every Monday, even if you go this Monday coming, you will see they are always there to discuss intelligence and security brief. We discuss all topics there, including the issue of Muslims gathering every weekend. All those barriers you see at defense headquarters, and that's why I'm talking to the media. They should go there on Friday. The barrier is no longer there. It's open because it is Jumat. And this is when they come to carry out surveillance. If you look at what happened in Mogadishu Barrack, it was the same. That was the time they went there and blasted the place and killed a lot of people. It's these same people that are allowed to have access on Fridays and become members of the mess because they are, you know, it's a social-cultural issue. So I think we should begin to look, the Minister of Defense should put an end to this, because for 35 years of my stay in the military intelligence, it has been the case. Both naval institutions, Air Force institutions, Army institutions, even the Department of State Services. Once it's Friday, the gates are thrown open, and people come from outside, and there'll be no space. They'll be all over. If you go to Defense Headquarters on Friday, this Friday, you see them littered everywhere.
If I could just comment. I mean, this conversation is usually quite tricky. I mean, people listening, some might take different perspectives to it, thinking, oh, is this a religious thing? Is this an ethnic thing? They ask, is it only Muslims you have in the military? Is it only people from this certain cultural, heritage that you have in the military? And I'd like us to tackle the issues. You have mentioned what you have called the core, as it were, of the problem. How do we tackle this without viewing it from a religious spectrum, an ethnic spectrum? Because you know well, Nigeria is quite, polarized across, these groups, ethnicity and religious. How do we tackle it without coming off as though you're inciting people, on those lines?
You see, one thing I discovered in this country is that when it comes to religion, everybody is very sensitive. But the fact I have laid bare is from the experience of 35 years of military intelligence. So I'm not coming to the air to whip up sentiments, no. I have been in the system. I work with Abacha government. I work with Babangida government. I work with Abdul Salam. I work with Yar'Adua Obasanjo. As a core insider of operations, I belong to a group of people that you are not supposed to see, people that you are not supposed to hear, because we have 3 classes of military officers. I belong to the worst group. I lost my family because my family does not have to know where I have been, where I have gone, and I cannot talk. I've seen Colonel Lu here, I've seen Stan Lambo. Some of us belong to that group that we are not supposed to be seen, and we are not supposed to be heard. The truth I'm telling you now is not about sentiment. Is that there are a group of people in this country that feels that this country should be Islamized. This is a fact. Except you want me to start mentioning names of people in this government that we have interrogated. I was a member of an interrogation team, and I've interrogated a very high-ranking member of this government in 2007, 2008 on the issue of Boko Haram. I interrogated him. He's in this government right now. And what was the issue? Boko Haram. And this senior officer was actually let go because he was found culpable. But right now he's in the government. You see, we must say the truth, because if you don't, this country is going down the precipice. We have been set back more than 60 years right now. We've gone back to the time before 1966 now. And whoever is coming back to repair this country has a lot of work to do. This country has never been polarized, so we cannot run away from it. We have never been this much polarized. I'm a federal person. My mind is federal. My brain is federal. My loyalty is federal. I do things for the federal government. So I cannot come here and try to be sentimental. No, I'm a federal person.
So will your life be at risk now that they're hearing you?
I don't care. I don't care. And my colleagues, they know me. Those people that are listening to me, they know me. I don't care. The issue is that this country is bigger than individual. That is the issue. This country is bigger than individuals. Buhari will come and go. Eliminating me or killing me will not solve the problem. And will not add value. But he will come and go. And somebody must come and repair the damage to the psyche of this society. The damage to the polarization, to the nepotism that I've never seen in my life. I work with all these presidents. This is the worst situation I've found myself. And believe me, internet does not forget. I was part of the people that helped to bring Buhari to government because I believe in him.
Have you worked with the government after that?
After
you helped bring the government?
Oh, of course, I worked with him. We brought him in 2015, and I work as the Deputy Director of Defense Administration. And we have a lot of hope in him. And we actually are ready to do anything for him. What he has turned out over the years is shocking to us. I was in Harvard in 2014, in December, when the Department of State Services and CIA and others were contemplating about Buhari and other aspirants. I know what we did to convince the American government that the only person that can come and put this country right is Buhari. That was before the Lagos, the APC, before they chose within.
Right.
And that was how Tinubu came in. We know what we did, but what he has done in the past 6 years is shocking. It's unprecedented. And it should not be allowed to be swept under the carpet because the damage to the psyche of this country is monumental.
We'll talk more on this, but pardon me, we've kept Mr. Alfred Ononuju waiting. He's a security consultant and the forensic investigator as well. Good morning, and pardon us, we just had to explore some of these positions. So, you've been listening in to what's being said, and then perhaps also read and updated yourself with the current situation concerning that scenario with the NDA. What do you think?
First, let me thank my dear brother as a patriot. He's speaking not to impress anybody. He's speaking as a patriotic Nigerian. He's also expressing his experience at times in service to Nigeria as a nation. May I also condole with the families of the officers and men that were brought down during this attack. It's pathetic. To say it's unfortunate is to make light the issue of what is happening to us as Nigerians and what is happening to Nigeria. The least of our aspirations and expectations was to find ourselves where we currently are, as a people. It's worrisome that there has been this, unseriousness about tackling the identified threats. And I believe that one of the solemn pledge of any officer is to protect the territorial integrity of our country. Now, when these territorial integrities are being flagrantly held with contempt and invaded with impunity, I think something must have given way. And there doesn't seem to be a response, a measured response to some of these threats as expected from people under oath, from people who have sworn to protect and defend the territories of Nigeria. Having said that, frankly, I want to thank you for allowing the veteran to just take us down the line. And I think he's been one of the most courageous Nigerians I've met in my entire life. So I give you my compliments, sir. We are worried. I'm a father, I have children, and I'm sure most families are concerned. When you put it side by side with the stories coming from the Middle East, particularly the Afghan story, the invasion of the Defense Academy is a signature too loud. It's something that we do not have an explanation for. And I expect that a couple of things should happen. One of which is that I think the National Assembly, if they are not compromised, should look at the options of impeaching the president. I'm sorry, I'm an APC member, but I think when it comes to the safety of the land, too many things have happened, and they're becoming too frequent that if anyone that truly loves Nigeria is not angry or upset, then the person must be a hypocrite. The person must be a saboteur. Secondly, I also feel that the structure of the Nigerian security should be reviewed. Now, we are going to be careful in making statements because we are in the public platform, being that things people say could be either misinterpreted or taken out of context. However, the truth must be said. We are facing a very dire situation. From a criminal intelligence perspective, it is very unhealthy for a nation of over 200 million, and with the strength of army that is in excess of possibly 200,000-300,000, to sit, watch as these people invade our space.
And you know, Mr. Nnamdi, pardon me, if I can jump in as well. I mean, you were right when you said they could misinterpret certain things. In fact, they could even misinterpret your call because, I mean, you're a security person and you're talking politics to the National Assembly. So let's leave politics for them to do what they have to do in politics. But speaking about security, now that this has happened, of course, they'll tell us there'll be investigation. They'll look through what's going on. So having heard what Komodo has said, do you think that they can actually be a solution? Will they hit a brick wall, or do we expect any results from any investigation that will be going on?
Well, it will be impossible to think of a solution outside politics because the policymakers are the politicians. They run the show. The president is a democratically elected president. So he depends on not only his political interests, but also structures of the government, which is under the authority of political establishments. So the solution will come from two ways. First is that we have to, like General said, we have to identify where the problem is coming from. And he captured it very well. We are suffering from ethno-religious invasion of the establishments. When we eliminate the unbearing influence of religion and ethnicity in our systems, then I think we begin to promote patriotism. Now, patriotism can never thrive when religious and ethnic superiority, is in front of the banner. So we need to, first of all, look at the moral engagement. We need to come back to the table. And I think this to those who are crying and calling for restructuring in the country, because where we are, it favors a section of the religious interest more than the other. So what we're going to see is a systemic elimination of each other from the two ends, and then it will boil down to ethnic conflict. Because when you kill somebody that is a Muslim, he comes from an ethnic group, maybe he's a Fulani, or he's Hausa, or he's Yoruba, or Igbo Muslim, then it will trigger a chain of reactions. Now, if you kill a Christian, like the major that was taken, I understand he has a Christian background. So connotations and all kinds of innuendos and all kinds of things will be coming in. So we are sitting on a dangerous platform. The solution for...
Pardon me to jump in on this. You know, on the lighter note, there's a problem that came from me, actually. I mistakenly called you Ononuju instead of Ononugo, and thank you for understanding that it was an honest mistake.
That's okay.
Thank you for that. Well, let me bring it back to Commodore. You know, looking at the narrative out there, they got in by 1 a.m. These terrorists, which sometimes they call them bandits, and now you look at the entire procedure, how this attack was carried out. And then they also said that those who were supposed to be manning the CCTV were sleeping at that time. So if you look at all this chain of events, what does that tell you?
Yeah, I think, you know, when you come to tactical operations, the most important element for us is surprise. It doesn't matter whether they slept off, whether the people that are supposed to be... I mean, at that time, 1 a.m., they know that they can achieve the element of surprise. Even if after 30 minutes of their invasion of that environment, it will take a lot to be able to respond to such an attack. So don't start looking for who to blame or who to...
No, it's just with the view to correct some of these things. Are they supposed to be sleeping in the first place, manning CCTV cameras?
For an attack, I've conducted attack in Niger. I've conducted attack in Angola. You see, no matter how fortified an environment is, no matter how foreign it is, if you can achieve the element of surprise, you win. I know NDA very well. I know the security architecture. Even if by that time, 1 a.m., they want to respond to that, I know the process. The weapons are in the armory. You need to go and open the armory and start signing. The bandits is not going to allow that to happen. They continue to fire and continue to follow up. And you cannot respond. In any response, you are going to be caught by bullets. So it's not about what happened at 1 a.m. Gentlemen, it's about what has been happening for the past 2 years, 3 years, where these people have been having access, unfettered access to NDA.
So
and they carry out their surveillance, and they know the right time to strike. It's about 2-3 years back. It's not about now. So anybody that wants to investigate this issue should not look at now. They should look at what has happened in the past 2 years, 3 years, how porous the place has been, and try to mitigate it.
Two issues I'd like to quickly raise. First, do you also agree with the theory of insider collaboration for this to have happened in such brazen manner?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no, I mean, we do operations like this too. And there's no way we can succeed without somebody inside. We must compromise somebody inside, either through blackmail or through incentives. Maybe we give money, or we blackmail the person, or we try to indoctrinate that person. We can't succeed without an inside person. And this attack you saw has insiders collaboration. I mean, I've investigated cases like this over the years. And I know 60% of the time, when you see an attack like this, there's an insider there.
So until that insider is fished out, we might have this sort of attack again and again.
It will always happen. There will always be insiders. If you look at the intelligence estimate globally, there are two variations. The variables are the hostile intelligence service, which is external to that country, and the domestic subversive organizations that is embedded in that country. Nothing evil can happen to a nation without the insider within that nation collaborating with the hostile intelligence services that is outside. It will always happen.
If I could just raise this other part. In the statement that was put out, the term unknown gunmen was used 3 times, the 3 paragraphs: unknown gunmen, unknown gunmen, unknown gunmen. Prior to this time, people called them bandits, some even called them terrorists. But is it instructive for you that it was a term unknown gunmen that was used?
It's deliberate. You know, I'm sorry to say that the media is part of our problem.
No, I'm talking about the statement from the academy itself, actually.
The academy also have to use that word to avoid reprimand from the higher authority. I was the commandant of Defense Intelligence College, and I know that at that time there are things I cannot say. If you term them terrorists, it carries a lot of weight, and you can be reprimanded for that as the commandant of NDA. So he's going to be very careful to keep on using that same term that is safe to use, because there are legal and other implications when you term a group terrorists. But I want to say on this channel that those people are terrorists. And if the government of Buhari is serious about putting an end to what we are seeing, he must pronounce them terrorist organization. Because once he does, it carries a lot of weight. And the reaction of the armed forces, where I belonged to before, will be completely different.
What was the point you were going to make about the media?
There is nothing that is going on today that is not actually tainted by the media.
How?
And that is why I have to come here and make bold to say what I've said. The media also know 80% of what I've said now, but they will not publish it. They know. I work with journalists. I was Deputy Director of Foreign Liaison at Defense Intelligence Agency. I work with journalists. I was Commandant Defense Intelligence College. I work with journalists. I train journalists in intelligence operations. They know. So why are they not also saying the obvious that will help the security and safety
at that time,
progress of this country?
So at that time that you worked with the journalists and, you know, training them and doing all of that, did you give them permission to publish your name as a source if they were going to go to press with those details?
Oh, I did. You know, it was a policy because, you see, when I was made the commandant of Defense Intelligence...
No, because, you know, you had said that you belonged to a group that was not supposed to have been heard or seen. Yeah. So how did you give them permission to publish your name?
Yeah, because at that time I was holding a different appointment. I've held a lot of appointments in the military. There are certain appointments I will hold that has no connotation with intelligence at all. For example, I was the Chief of Staff Logistic Command for the Navy. That appointment has nothing to do with intelligence. I was the defense advisor to Nigeria in France. It has nothing to do with intelligence. So there are times I hold appointments and I have to deal with journalists. And I must tell you, I can mention some of them. Mohammed of NTL, I trained them because I wanted them to understand that military intelligence is not like a cult. I exposed some aspect.
Even though most of their documents are usually top secret and they tell you can't publish or even access the document, even if you see it by mistake.
No. There are places you process top secret. I mean, if you want to talk about document security, it's a lecture of itself. You have unclassified materials you have confidential materials, you have secret materials, and you have top secret. There are processes. It's an area of military that you need to do a lot of training. So when we bring journalists in and talk to them, we ensure that they don't see unclassified materials. And it's just for them to understand how the system works. Basically, if you go to Afghanistan, if you go to Iraqi, you will see journalists embedded with the military.
But it's not the case here.
I think I tried to encourage you when I was the commandant that we should allow journalists to have access to some of the things we do so that they can say it as it is. Because when I conducted the operation in 2007 in Angola and I came to Nigeria, what you read in the newspapers, what you hear on television and what you see are completely skewed from what we were doing.
So guys, I'm quickly going to take you through some of the reactions coming from Nigerians. Boko Haram has written to these people to provide 100 million naira. If you don't pay, risks being paid. This person say, you have no choice but to give the 100 million naira since the government is not doing anything. Same KB Tinubu went fishing last week. This is the legacy of the APC, the Al-Qaeda People's Congress. Hey, Al-Qaeda People's Congress. Can you imagine? And then this other person here said, after the demand is killing, kill them all who refuse to pay you, especially those Yoruba communities. These tribes are foolish and selfish. Politics is better than their lives, fools. It's become a norm. This country, now God will help us. So these are reactions coming from Nigerians. I'm going to take you through more reaction. There is one here that says, okay, let me read out another one here. This one says, breaking news, terrorists have killed more than 30 people in Zamfara state. And this one says, no president is as incompetent as Tinubu. He is coming to put it to an end. And this other person here says, the evil Nigerian government and compromised corrupt Nigerian military the evil Nigerian government and Nigerian corrupt military released 117 Boko Haram terrorists into the society. Boko Haram terrorists murdered 30 people in Zamfara state. Boko Haram terrorists murdered 50 Christians in Plateau. Boko Haram terrorists murdered 30 in Benue. And still, these are all latest headlines, and then the Tinubu's government is granting them amnesty, guys. This is heartbreaking. This is touching. God help us. So this person, federal government, they release more terrorists back into the society. And this other person say, what is visionary governor? Zamfara allocates 1 billion to build cemetery across 14 amidst ongoing bandit killing. Can you see? There you go. Zamfara government, Zamfara has allocated 1 billion naira to build cemetery as regards to the killings that they are going through. So guys, this is what we are saying. This person, don't forget, Nigeria government gave 117 northern Islamic terrorist amnesty yesterday. May Nigeria never happen to lovers of freedom. And this person say, 117 Islamic terrorists completed rehabilitation program today. Nigeria, hey God. So guys, this is to tell you that this country is gone. It's gone. And now this one here says, see the people our leaders are rehabilitating. 17 repentant Boko Haram members complete program in Borno. So all these things are happening just like this. These are all yesterday, day before yesterday headlines. It's official. Nigeria has no commander-in-chief. Terrorists are now in charge of the sovereignty of their country of particular concern. Who is the commander-in-chief of the soldiers? It's not the Tinubu you support. Are you saying Tinubu is not in charge? Every election season, security becomes a campaign promise. After election, Nigeria becomes statistics. Zamfara today, another state tomorrow. A country where citizens die repeatedly without consequences of leadership is a country normalizing tragedy. So guys, these are reactions coming from Nigerians. It's really so heartbreaking to see that Tinubu has just given up this country for politics, guys. It's really so sad. This person say, I feel that the government is doing everything to convince Nigerians that the weapon fashion against them. Why do they hate Nigerians so much? Nigeria is gone, Otito. And this person here say, just in case our Yoruba brothers, sisters, Imam miss this, it's not the first time. If you like, support them in the name of Islam. But remember, you are not Fulani and don't subscribe to killing. However, you can raise your voice. Fulani jihadists. This one here says, a king in Yoruba land was murdered in his palace. And then after Fulani terrorists murdered 50 Christians in Nigeria, the corrupt Tinubu Yoruba president continues releasing terrorists in the name of repentance. Someone should wake up. Oni of Ifo Ife a hypocrisy, honestly. The way only of Ife is following Tinubu, Shogoresa, please do something. And then this person here say 177 terrorists released without trial, no justice for victim, government priority questioned. How can Nigeria balance rehabilitation and terrorists and justice for terrorists? What safeguards? So guys, I really don't understand the concept behind this rehabilitation. You were once a terrorist, but this program has changed you. People will suggest their idea, they suffer from psychosis. I pity those who claim that one Nigeria will be better. With this type of daily basis madness, which normal society do things like this? The only solution is the division of Nigeria. So guys, it's really, really so pathetic as Tinubu sends 100 terrorists into the society. You cannot reasonably expect government that appears to take directive from Iran and Turkey to effectively crack down on and punish terrorists. Sheikh Gumi often comes across as a de facto spokesman for terrorist groups and bandits in Nigeria, and it would not be surprising. So guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification for more. Thank you.